This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mgmunoz.com. Visit the podcast page for show notes and links. Remember to like, share, and comment to help me grow. This is Swinging Through Comics, episode 72, Save Our Enemies. I'm analyzing Ultraman, The Trials of Ultraman number 4. The original release date for this comic book was July 7, 2021. The writer is two people. One is Matthew Groom, the other is Kyle Higgins. The penciler is Francesco Manna. The color artist is Espen Grundetjern. And the cover artists, on the vanilla cover are Arthur Adams and Rachelle Rosenberg. So, I'm going to go straight to my negative stuff. It's conspiracy theorists, same-faced, E-Days humor. And actually, to soften the blow from all the crazy stuff I'm going to say, I'll do the positive, my general thoughts too. My positives are Ice Pick, Ultra Morality, and Kato's Secret. And then, or Kato probably. And the thoughts are Who Needs a Doctor and Lack of Moral Clarity. So, I'll jump back. What is the negative of this issue? Conspiracy theorists. So, I'll be honest, I've already read issue 5, and it did change my opinions on issue 4 a little bit, but it just made it more palatable. But I was really sick of the whole attack on conspiracy theorists from the people in the USP. The USP is a international, intergovernmental organization, and it had been lying to people for 40 years, 60 years, I don't know what, and it caused the kaiju crisis to be accelerated by lying to people and then using the K-rays to send all these people, all the kaiju, into these different dimensions, or just, in between space. And the Shin, as a aspiring agent to the group, this governmental group, went along with them, and he followed the orders of a government agent, and he shot the alien Ultra, who was innocent, and he killed him, or almost killed him, and then they bonded and became Ultraman, and it led to everything at the end of the Rise of Ultraman, where he released the kaiju vault in order to stabilize it so it wouldn't blow everything up, but then it made all these kaiju get spread all around the earth. So all of those things happened because a long time ago the government got together and decided to lie to people and fool them and keep information from them so that they couldn't make informed decisions for themselves. And Kiki and Shin are both young people, and they cannot believe that people don't trust the government, even though the government has proved itself to be totally untrustworthy. And this whole, this is being written by a couple of white guys, a couple of honkies, okay? Listen to me, Groom and, what's your name, Higgins? I'm a Latinx man, so you can't say anything against me, unless you're racist. I'm not taking that out. It's the truth, though. Look at my birth certificate, look at my last name. I'm not faking it. Look at my melanin count. I think it's higher than yours, so I can say whatever I want, right? Anyway, you got a couple of white guys writing a couple of young Japanese characters who are 12 years or more younger than them. At least I think Higgins is in his mid-30s, and I think Groom might be as well, or a little bit older. Anyway, so they're projecting their feelings onto these characters, and I want to be upset with that, but they also wrote all the other characters and all the other circumstances, and it did bother me at first, but I do think that that it is a thoughtful exchange and interplay of ideas. And I didn't throw the book away. I didn't tear it up. I didn't shout it down. I'm not saying these guys don't have the right to make it. I was just very cagey on it before I read the following issue, and then I thought, oh, okay, I get this. I get it a lot. Again, moving on to the next thing, same face. Kiki and Kato's daughter have identical faces. Kato's daughter is just in a gray suit, and her hair is slightly different, but not very. And at least it's consistent from issue to issue. At issue 3, she looked the same, issue 3 she looked the same, or the two of them look the same, and in issue 4 they look the same, but I don't like it. It's not a good thing. Edie's humor was not enjoyable. I don't know if he's supposed to be trying to crack jokes and being humorous, or if it's just supposed to be humorous that he's reacting the way he's acting, but I did not like it. It did not please me at all. And I don't know who it would entertain. So, just saying. Going on to the positives, Ice Pick. I love the fact that, Shin and Ultra are fighting as Ultraman. They need to do something kind of surgical, so they break a gigantic ice pick thing off of a glacier spire, and they use it to stab the kaiju through the back. or I guess it was the fake kaiju, whatever. It was really cool. So that was a lot of fun. The Ultra morality. So like, Ultra is telling Shin, like, you cannot get involved. Like, Ultraman cannot fight a human war, or cannot fight in human wars. And I need to be above this, and I need to be above the immediate thing and look at the long term. And I will break the cycle of human violence. I will not perpetuate it like you are asking me to do right now. And it ended up, so it was a really interesting debate. And again, like I was mentioning before about the whole conspiracy theorist thing, anti-conspiracy theorist thing, which when the conspiracies turn out to be true, what do you say to the conspiracy theorists? What do you, like, where do you go from there? Anyway, why not entertain everyone's ideas and combat bad ideas or bad speech with good speech and more speech, and counter their arguments and ideas? And if they're going to be an idiot and, you know, end up dooming themselves because they can't get out of their own way, well, then there's nothing you can do about that. It's like this situation here. I'll make this modern. I'm recording this on August 24th. It's like the situation in Afghanistan. Does the U.S. that has pulled out and all these people are suffering now, do we need to go back in there and shove a barrel of a gun at the back of every combat age male, so to speak? I don't think so. That's not moral. That's not right. That's not just. If you are enslaving people and forcing them to comply with you so that there's peace or justice, that is a peace or justice that is fake, that is false, that will not last, that will perpetuate a cycle of hate and sorrow, and evil will continue to grow in that. And I think the evil will grow not only in the people who are being oppressed, but in the oppressors themselves. So yeah, come at me if you want to. We can talk all day long about morality, because I think the perspective I come from is the high ground, where I say don't violate other people's autonomy. And I like that the Ultra was saying that, basically, but he was like, hey, Shin, if you want to go down there and help your friends, go ahead. And there was a really good point too that somebody had brought up earlier. I think Kato brought it up, that like, hey, this guy built a fake kaiju, but he's not hurting anybody with it, so how can you attack him, destroy his kaiju? How can you destroy the property that he rightfully made because you don't want him having a fake kaiju? Like, you can't do that. But the situation obviously turned quickly, and the people who were there, who were assembled there, did have malevolent intent, and then, you know, things were able to be stopped at that point. So I think that's fair too. Last thing, Kato's secret. I'm pretty sure, well, they never revealed it, but it seems to me like Kato, or Kato Industries, or whatever his company's called, they're developing mecha that can be piloted to fight off kaiju, which I think will be really interesting, especially because of the end of issue 5, but I'll talk about that later, what that could mean. But anyway, I just watched Ultraman Z, so the idea of giant mecha who fight kaiju is pretty fun to me. So yeah, I think that might be what he's angling at. And it would make sense because they stole his technology, and that's how they made their artificial kaiju, this other guy, this YouTube guy or whatever. So getting into my thoughts, my question is, who needs a doctor? That's basically paraphrasing, or here's the quote basically, but I don't know what translation this would come from, but you know, this guy JC back in the day said, who needs a doctor, the healthy or the sick, basically. So when people were complaining about the Messiah running around with certain less than savory characters, he said, well, who needs the doctor? Who needs help? Who needs to be assisted? Who needs to be brought to a better place than where they are right now? The people who are on solid ground and who know what they're doing and have their act together and are doing great and everything's going well for them? Or is it the people who are down on their luck, who are hurt, who are lonely, who you know, are on the fringes? Do the people on the fringes need to be brought in to the center, or do they need to be, you know, pushed out? And he's saying no, they need to be brought into the center, brought in with everybody else, brought in with this community, and to be able to interact and, you know, have redemption and not just be, you know, canceled, for lack of a better word. So I'm kind of thinking this about the conspiracy theories, and ultimately we kind of get there, but not in this issue, unfortunately. So yeah, I feel like there's maybe a lack of moral clarity between the writing team and Ultraman himself, because like the Ultra expresses these ideals and morals and wanting to break the cycle of human violence, and the humans interacting with the Ultra are not wanting that. And I kind of read that originally as like, oh man, this is like, these guys don't get Ultraman, or they're like, you know, they're a couple degrees off of what they should be at. But ultimately I do think they're there. It's just not expressed well in this issue, and for that I'm going to come hard against this issue of the comic. So issue 4 of the Trials of Ultraman, I gave the art a 4 out of 5 because it's, Manna's good, the coloring's really good too. It all looks really good. There's some, you know, minor quibbles I have, but basically it's like really, really solid artwork. I would love to consistently see the art at this level and not below for anything ever, because it's really good work. I mean, the kaiju look fabulous and everything. But anyway, yeah, the story, I gave it a 2 at the time that I ranked it originally, and I'm not going to budge from there, because I think that it still reflects something lacking in the character. Like, do you really have to hold our hand through this and like work us through? Like, who's this comic intended for? Is it for people in their 30s and 40s, like me, or is it teenagers? I don't think kids are reading these comic books, so like it's for the adult audience. You don't have to handhold us through this. That's how I feel. So I'm sticking with that score. I'm going to say this book's, not a definite recommend, unlike previous installments of this. I'll have to wait and see how it wraps up in issue 5 to see if the moral clarity is there or not, and you'll just have to stay tuned for my next review, which should be coming out not too long after this one, like a day or so. So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I don't really have any questions for you to ask you. So yeah, just let me know how you like this issue, and if you found the same like issues of lacking in it that I did. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope you enjoyed this. Check out my growing collections of analysis, art, and fiction. The bottom of the show notes might just feature a design relevant to the topic at hand. Click around and find out. You can also visit mjmunoz.com/support to see my latest designs and more. I welcome all forms of critique to improve my craft, so don't hold back any comments you have for me. I leave you with peace and blessings. This is MJ, signing out.